Good morning. Sorry. It's good evening. Sorry. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. So guys, today we'll start quickly. So today, as per our discussion, we will be talking about how to go about your past experience or your projects or internships that you have done. Now, this is one of the important things in interviews that someone asks you about your past experience. Now, for freshers, probably it is not the experience, but the projects are important for a fresher. Okay, for an experienced candidate, okay, that experience do matter. But now when you are talking about your experience, make sure you are going for a finance role. And if that role, if your past experience is not relevant to your role, so avoid talking much things about your past experience, or try to tell things that you are doing currently. So that is very important. Or probably not try to talk about your skills that you have learned or the projects that you have done. So this is very important from an interview perspective, from a finance perspective. If I go for a finance interview, though I have an experience in sales, it doesn't mean that I keep on talking about sales. So I'll give you an example. I was going for an interview, and obviously I had sales experience. So in that also, what I tried that sir, I used to talk with clients, I used to give them financial advice based on the balance sheet, P&L, and cash flows, or some analysis that I have done by reading annual reports, by reading newspapers, by reading conference calls. Though I was not reading it on a continuous basis, but still, while selling in the interview, I was telling that I was reading the conference calls, I was understanding the financial statements, and then I was giving an advice. I know in the sales job, advice was given by senior analyst. I know that, but since I wanted to get into the role, and with the JD that the job profile was asking, I need to talk in that perspective only. Okay, so be attentive while giving this answer. Though you have experience in other field, and Sean, you were saying that you are experienced in other field, but try to frame it in such a way that something of the finance or topic should come which you want to get a role on it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Vidyanan, over to you. Good evening, ma'am. You're on mute.
Mic is off.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I hope everybody is doing great. Again, hats off to you all for being there, persistent, consistent on day 4. All right. So again, the very basic question before I start, the first thing I ask you, why report writing? Why did they want you to make projects? Why do they want you to make projects and then try to report on the same? What is the need? सिलेबस तो पढ़ ही रहे हैं, इतनी सारी किताबें पढ़ रहे हैं, इतने सारे सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ ही रहे हैं, एग्जाम्स देने ही वाले हैं. So why do they want you to do that? Anybody from the open forum can answer. What do you think?
There is
What do they want to check? Yes, Sean?
between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge.
Come again?
Because there's a difference between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge. We can show
There
them.
is a difference.
We can show them that we have done this report, and let them know that we have not just cleared some exams, but also worked in real life.
All right. What are they trying to test when they're giving you projects?
They're testing things like whether we are following the proper professional format, time management, whether we're covering everything, all the relevant points, and after the project is done, how are we trying to present it and letting them know that what kind of work have we done and how do we communicate our findings in the project with what they want.
All right. So when you say whether we have done all the relevant points, this is what you don't have to say. You have to mention all the relevant points you want to cover. When you say etc., when you say other things, don't use. Specify what are these other things. Tell me. The relevant things as in?
So, for example, one is in the report writing, for example, one is with, so we can, first is giving the basic overview of what the company is about, which sector does it cover, what are its products, where does the revenue come from, giving the
Why would you the company background first? Could you tell what is the project on first?
I didn't get a question. Are you asking about the report writing of equity research?
No. I'm just asking you, what do they expect when they're giving you a project. And you said
Okay.
they want us to have a format, do it professionally, which is very, very correct. And then you used the phrase, all other relevant things. I'm telling you, do not
Okay.
sum up everything by saying and etc. and other things. I want you to highlight or talk more about these small jargons which you're using. This is where the matter is hidden. That is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so one is time management, whether
Mhm.
will we complete it in time.
Okay.
One is the formatting, like formatting in PDF and Word. Have we done the linings and columns correctly?
Okay.
Third is the approach in terms of the title. How does it start? How does it end? Whether it is not too long or too short.
Okay.
Next is whether like what is you have to give a clear purpose. What is the purpose of the project? You
Very
need
good.
to make them understand.
Mm-hmm.
And what value do I add in the project? Like what is my
Very
contribution?
good. Very good. Yes. 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 Anybody
Um,
else wants to add on to what Sean has just said? Nobody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
In report writing, we can also mention the findings
Can't
of the
see
project.
you, Jatin.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we can't see you.
Hello,
Yes.
am I audible? Yeah, you
Yes.
can see that.
Hmm.
So we can also mention the findings of the project, and we can also mention the solutions
Hmm.
based on the report writing
No, I'm
and
asking what are they wanting from you? तो उस लैंग्वेज में बताओ कि they want us to find a solution, they want us to
yeah,
give some suggestions. हाँ.
right. So firstly, we have to mention a problem statement, like what is the reason behind
Hmm.
that topic that we have selected,
Hmm.
and after selecting that particular topic and finding out the problem, they want us to express how we can approach to that solution,
Mm-hmm.
and how we can rectify that problem and get a conclusion which will be in the benefit, like so solution centric approach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes,
All right. Partly correct. Anybody else wants to give it a try? I've still not got that 10 on 10 answer. Everybody's a 7 on 10. Yes, Radhika? Harsh, Radhika? Hmm?
So project helps the interviewer to test if we have the practical knowledge beyond the textbooks and the syllabus.
Okay.
And also, they come to know how much hands-on experience we have with a particular tool, or how well versed we are with that tool and make with a particular tool, or presenting the report or making a report. For example, if you are using a particular tool to make a report or something like that, so how well versed are we? Like for example, if you are using Excel, do we have the advanced Excel knowledge for it, or like that?
Okay. Partly correct again. Not satisfied.
Okay.
Sorry. Harsh?
Ma'am, basically, when it like, first of all, I would like to understand. So, what is the answer that you're expecting? Like, in the sense, it is it about a general report writing,
No,
or
I'm
is it a,
just expecting an answer to the question.
okay?
Why do you think they are
Hmm.
giving you a project
Hmm.
despite of so much of syllabus? And they
Despite of,
want you to, yes, and they want you to write a report on the project. Why
okay,
is it necessary according to you?
okay.
Now that
So,
you understand this, you
hmm.
are going to make a checklist of to do when you do the
Okay,
projects.
okay, understood. So, first of all, there are too much of information available in the market, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, it might be like whatever the problem statement that we have right now
Mhm.
might be all the information that are available might not be relevant for our problem statement, right?
Okay.
So report writing, first of all, is very important whether we understand our problem statement very much correctly or not. That is the first thing. So understanding problem statement. Then what is the research thesis and how much of filtering of information we are doing. That is second thing.
Okay.
And then after that, uh, what is the like if there is information that has came to us with various problem solving methods, like different ways to solve that problem statement,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is most relevant towards like towards the thought process of company. Like if they're having, let's suppose, client centric approach, that um, like how to put it, let's suppose they want that whatever the margins, let's talk in financial term, then it
Yeah,
would be easy.
sure.
So
Yes, go ahead.
when company, like there are some companies who are very much they give too much of priority to margins as compared to only volume numbers or sale numbers, right? So
Okay.
we have to find out why margins are increasing, not only because of price increase but because of volume increase.
All
So
right,
there are,
I'll
yeah,
cut you there and
yeah.
I'll tell you that you are running out of context. I'm so sorry to say.
Mm.
All right, you're running out of context.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get back to you. Vasavi, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I can't see you. You'll have to switch on your camera there. Yes, please. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. Mostly interviewer will be seeing analytical skills and is that client driven. There will be few requirements for the client or project manager. Is our skills, are we converting or writing our project report according to their requirements or not is the most important thing that uh, client will be looking forward.
Okay. All right. Partly correct. I'll give you a 6 on 10. Now listen to me very carefully. जितना हम difficult सोचते हैं ना, उतना difficult होता नहीं है. We take it to the top level. No, the projects are given to you to understand the market. Now they want to see how clever you are in picking up a topic which is of utmost importance in the market right now, or the topic which is currently buzzing in the market now, or a topic which is a problem in the market now. Are you that good, that vigilant in the market that you're picking up that particular project? Otherwise, we are so busy in studying all the other subjects, it's very easy for me to take a topic which has already been covered by somebody. उसको copy कर लूंगा, correct? Majority approach तो यही होती है. But the person, the interviewer, the examiner, the head of the department, or whoever is checking your project wants to see what is the topic you're taking. Firstly, that makes the interviewer understand, yes, you're a risk taker there. Then, to what level have you boiled down to do the research required for that process? Have you just copied the data which was available, or have you churned the data which is relevant? You cannot make a project which is very, very lengthy and very, very monotonous. You have to be very, very crisp with your data. Your findings, are they relevant? Are they practically relevant? Are they practically implementable? Are they in a situation which we can test them, put to test and also test them? So all these are things they want to know when they're giving you a project. And when you present the report, what they want in the report is a very, very simplified version of the whole problem. It should be as simple as it can be, and it should be easily read by an HR also. You all are finance students? Yes. But that same project should be able to understand by a commoner like me. This is the demand of the project. आप कितने बड़े प्रॉब्लम को कितनी इजी तरीके से समझा सकते हो, right? This is the requirement. So don't go by doing something very, very difficult. That is not the requirement at all. Also, जैसे सर ने बोला, do not put anything and everything in the report or the project just to highlight. मैंने ये भी किया, मुझे ये भी आता है, मुझे ये भी आता है. But when it comes time for you to explain it, you're not in a position to explain. Don't put yourself in the hot soup. Is this exam clarification justified? They want to see your aptitude. How much keen interested are you in jumping into this research? Project is nothing but a mini research which you're going to do. Yes, and then how nicely how methodologically are you churning the data, finding out the data. Yes, putting the data and presenting it. Presenting comes much later. First is the initial phase where you're actually doing the research and compiling things. A lot of homework has to be done, and then the report writing comes into picture. I think we have some volunteers who are going to present their reports. We listen to their reports, and then we can have some nuggets from them. Sir?
Okay. Ma'am, just I wanted to add something.
Please, sir.
Guys, when ma'am was saying about, having a report which is about the recent developments, so you must have seen that, I talked in the morning calls that,
Morning calls.
latest result बताओ. Yes, today only I was talking to Harsh. Harsh, मैं तुमको बोल रहा था कि auto numbers update आए हैं, update करो. Because those are the live reports that you make, and these things are only used in interviews. Because if you say मैंने प्रोजेक्ट किया था 6 महीने पहले या 2 महीने पहले मैंने मॉडल बनाया था, that will not have an impact. It's just because, as ma'am correctly said, कि वो copy pasted भी हो सकता है. तुमने किया, उसकी क्या गारंटी? And data is already बाहर है, तो तुमने अलग से research क्या किया? So that live research, the live conference call, whenever I say ना, don't miss the time. The courses का, ये course का भी मैंने time ऐसा ही decide किया है कि it should with the live market. So once the time has gone, तुम बोलो कि सर मैं 15 दिन बाद report बना के दूँ, तो that has no value actually. So I've been doing it. So that is why finance is difficult. Finance, any field you go, तुम बोले कि even in the marketing field, you go and say कि मैंने कुछ पुराना topics में research करके बताया कोको-कोला को कोको bottles कैसे sell करना है. तो फिर you cannot tell Coca-Cola how to sell bottles. And जाके ये भी नहीं बोल सकते कि I made a strategy on selling Pepsi bottles in India. Example. So this should be live, recent examples, startup examples, या जैसे हम reports करते हैं. Even for that's an HUL or Maruti, we know it is a good, company is good, balance sheet is good, P&L is good, but the thing comes that आगे क्या? What is the latest data that has come out? Because as an analyst like me, having 10 years of experience, मुझे वो data, past data ना, I have it on fingertips. तुम मुझे past data के बारे में बोलोगे, किधर भी तुम miss हो गए तो I will catch you. It's like that. So you have to touch something which is just now came in the market, and उस पे भी ना क्या होगा? There won't be any backfire on you. कि उसको भी पता नहीं होगा सामने वाले को क्या आया. I used to use this trick in my interview कि ना लेटेस्ट जो भी होने का ना या लेटेस्ट कंपनी का आईपीओ आया उसी पे बोलने का. बिकॉज इफ आई गो एंड टॉक अबाउट अ कंपनी विच द एनालिस्ट इज ट्रैकिंग फ्रॉम लास्ट 5 years, ही विल स्क्रू मी अप इन द इंटरव्यू. मैं बोलूँ कि मुझे तुमसे ज्यादा आता है तो वो तो फिर ईगो पे आ जाता है वो बातें. So it's like
also, sir, you will agree with me, majority of these sharp students who pick difficult projects and do it very, very simplified way are the ones who are highlighted in the recruiter's eyes. He only, thrusts on that project. ज्यादा से ज्यादा इंटरव्यू पार्ट वो प्रोजेक्ट ले लेता है. द चाइल्ड हैज डन इट सो वेल कि एक एक क्वेश्चन वो पूछ रहा है वो रिप्लाई करता है, बिकॉज द चाइल्ड हैज एक्चुअली एंटर्ड, एब्जॉर्ब्ड हिमसेल्फ इनटू दैट प्रोजेक्ट. उसको हर नुक्स, हर टिप्स, हर चीज उस प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में याद है. सो देयर इज नथिंग लाइक डूइंग अ प्रोजेक्ट सो वेरी सीरियसली दैट यू आर एब्सोल्युटली रेडी. द इंटरव्यूअर विल लाइक something which is very concurrent, something which is very, very relevant to the industry right now. And maybe that project of yours, which you have done so nicely, can bag you a job. So these projects are very, very seriously. These internships are very, very serious. Very, very serious. Morning calls. I am addicted to your morning calls, sir. So much of information. So much of information. And in the morning, I did tell sir, these students have, I don't know, 3 days and you all have polished your skills. Sir was agreeing with me. Yes, थोड़े सुधर गए हैं. मतलब आप लोग सुधरे हुए हैं, but you are streamlining your own presentation skills, which is again credits. Wonderful. So we have some volunteers presenting their report, and we can give feedback on the same.
Yeah. Surya ma'am, will you start with your report that you said conference calls? You can just start. So I'll give you a grasp, man. He had done a conference call on a company called Tata Consumers. So he will be speaking on that. Correct, Surya ma'am?
Wonderful.
No, sorry, sir. Actually, I was thinking about the Radico Khetan, which
Fine.
but it was about. So it was a quarterly update report on the Radico Khetan company for the March 25 quarter. For this quarter, it is really about to come on the next month. So towards that, I will update the report.
Fine. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so is it like when I share my screen or just like speaking or?
You want to share your screen? Totally
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
But
Sure.
actually, he will not be able to share a screen during the interviews.
Fine. Correct. Sorry.
Okay.
Just go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead with the
So you just have, I will not say, please don't memorize your content. Do not sound rote at all. Do not sound rote. It should come very, very naturally. जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं, hand gestures होने चाहिए आपके, body language इतनी comfortable होनी चाहिए कि the examiner should feel कि हाँ भाई इस बंदे ने खुद ही किया है ये project. He's so cool about it. So don't learn anything. बस आपका प्रोजेक्ट ही इतने अच्छे से कीजिए या उसको बार बार पढ़िए that it comes on your fingertips. You don't have to just see anything and tell. Yes, come again,
Okay.
please.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Surya Agarwal, and thank you, Vidya ma'am and Rishabh sir, for providing me the opportunity to present my analysis of the conference calls and the earnings update, which has been provided by the Radico Khaitan company for the Q4 of financial year 2024-25. Okay, so in summary, it is like that revenue for the Radico Khaitan has been grown by 21% to 13 billion, which is primarily driven by the strong volume growth of 27.9% in the portfolio of IMFL. For those who doesn't know the full form, IMFL refers to the Indian Manufactured Liquor meaning. And in that portfolio, the prestige was the major category, which has gone by 16.8% on a year-on-year basis. Again, in terms of the volume growth, not in terms of the sales revenue. So this was the major reason for the revenue growth of Radico Khaitan. Now, the further adding on to this, the prestige category, which is constituting the 63% of the total IMFL portfolio, it has been grown by in terms of sales revenue 22% to 6.2 billion, which is again, as earlier mentioned, strong volume growth. Now, if I talk about the rationale about this prestige category sales growth, it is because the last quarter there has been a lower sales number in this category. So this lower sales number in the previous quarter has been coupled with the normalization of the state specific some industry issues to a large extent. So this was the primarily reason of the premium category, which has been grown by almost 22% to 6.2 billion. Okay, for the Q4. Now, additionally, in this category, there has been a change in the route to market in the Andhra Pradesh, which has increased its market share to 23%, thereby contributed the 1,500 basis points. So the market share earlier was reduced by 8%. Now, was this change in route to market has increased to 23%. Okay. Apart from this, there's the company is expecting a further growth of 15% in the prestige category and 12 to 13% in the regular category. So this was the additional forecasting which the company has made in its Q4 results of the financial year 24-25. Okay. Now, in the again further
That's it.
drilling down.
So yeah, that's it. You will not get this much of time in the interview. I got
Okay.
bored. हो गया
Okay.
1 minute. That's it. Project क्या
Sure.
किया? Let me ask you questions. It is like that. So बोल दिया इतना मैंने कर दिया. Okay. Yeah. And that's it. 1 minute. You cannot talk much on finance topics.
Yes. So concise your report to the most important points. If I want to give you individual feedback, please everybody, give him a round of applause for a good introduction. A very nice introduction. Wonderful. Later, your tempo went down, and your volume also came a little down. Yeah, there was a pace which came down. I don't know why. Okay. I thought you were looking at the data and reading. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, because I'm just not remembering the numbers. That's why looking at the facts, not the rationale or the things.
Okay. So when when will you be able to remember these numbers? That is the time you know that I'm ready. So don't
Okay.
pick data which is very difficult to remember. They also don't want exact facts and figures. They want data which they will also remember. You told so much of data, I didn't remember anything.
One second, ma'am, on this. I remember one data that you told, IMFL, right? You forgot what was IMFL. It is Indian made foreign liquor. So if you're talking about it, manufacturing, you cannot, have an, with experienced people, you cannot go wrong on it. तो जो चीजें या पता नहीं है तो बोलना ही मत. Don't try to say कि हाँ थोड़ा ऐसा कुछ था, कि मुझे भी नहीं पता था. देख तुमने ही उकसाया मुझे कि ये तुमने गलत बोला है. मैंने पूछा क्या सामने से IMFL क्या होता है? Just because you have said it wrong, it strike me कि तुमने गलत बोला है वो. If you don't know, data नहीं पता है तो probably avoid talking on the data part.
Sure.
Okay. You said it has grown by.
Yes.
When you say it has grown by, that means somebody has grown it. Somebody has made it happen. Somebody has made it happen.
Yes, so it was grown. So it was driven, means account of the volume growth. It was grown by this revenue.
No, again I'm telling you, it was grown by. मतलब किसी ने तो किया है ये. Was it done by someone on purpose, or it grew, or it increased?
It is increased.
Yes. So if you use correct words, you will have correct impact. Again, there was a sentence which you said has been grown by 6.2 billion. Has been grown by means somebody is growing it to 6.2 billion.
No, it's just increased.
Yes, it has increased. Grammar check. There is a list of vocabulary words which I'm going to provide, sir. Sir, I put it in the group, morning call group. And please start using these words only. Do not use any other word. The moment you say it has been grown, koi to kar raha hai isko. Somebody is doing it, which is not correct. Am I right?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Contributed, you said contributed 1,000 base points.
Yes, 1,500 basis points.
Where? I don't know.
So basically, the market share has been extended to 23 basis points. And when you're comparing the market share on a quarterly basis or a year-on-year basis, which is on a percentage basis, and so you said in a basis points term. So the market share has grown by 15%, which in basis points it is 1,500 basis points.
But I still feel it is incomplete.
Okay.
It has contributed, but where has it contributed?
So the change in the route to market to the Andhra Pradesh has contributed the change in the market share.
No, Surya, tell again, what is it? Give the
So,
sentence.
so the route to market in the Andhra Pradesh, there has been a change. So which has grown its market share to 23%.
Market share 23%. अभी तुमने 0.23 basis point बोला.
No, I have said 1,500 basis points. So it's a comparison from the previous quarter, like how much market share has changed.
The market share has increased 1,500 to 23%, na?
Yes. Okay.
All right. So reframe your data because it can be misleading.
उनको नहीं समझा. See, it was a basic thing. Ma'am को, see, if the ma'am is not understanding, मतलब तुम सब में गलत कर रहे हो.
Okay.
So obviously you are not trying to tell me, because if ma'am is not understanding, तो मैं तो सोचो मैं तो फिर I will comment on you कि तुमको तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. वो basic लोगों को नहीं समझ रहा था. How will you talk with an analyst?
Okay. So the very first thing I told you is boil down to the basic. Simplify the data to such an extent. आपका वैसे भी बहुत complicated होता है. Numbers, you juggle with numbers a lot. Yes. So simplify the data. The winner will be a person who's able to explain anything, very complicated financial term, to a commoner in the simplest form. Correct? For example, sir, आपको simplest form में पढ़ाते हैं. That's why you're coming early in the morning every day. Am I right? Had he started teaching all complicated stuff, you wouldn't understand anything. He's breaking it down from complex to simple for you. तो आपका आइडियोलॉजी यही होना चाहिए कि मेरा सब्जेक्ट ही इतना डिफिकल्ट है. आई हैव टू चूज माय वोकैबुलरी एंड बॉयल डाउन टू वेरी वेरी सिंपल. ओके. अच्छा. Surya ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. I can't see you, Nitik.
Actually, ma'am, there is some video issue right now. I'm trying to fix it. I have a question to ask. You said that we have to simplify everything and tell the interviewer in simplified manner. But there is another line of thinking, like that it is said that we should use technical jargons. I
Use
heard from,
technical,
I
yes,
guess,
use technical jargons. No, he also tried to help me there. He tried to help me there. For most of you who don't know IMF, he gave me a full form. So what is he doing? He's using his financial term. At the same time, he's making sure me as a commoner knows what is IMF.
okay,
So
so
use your
we should,
jargons. You have to use your jargons to sound professional, but at the same time, make sure it is simplified. Otherwise, I wouldn't understand the context of it.
got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes? Okay. All right. Surya,
Actually, it is Suramya, so it is very difficult
Suramya.
to pronounce.
Okay, Suramya. आपका starting बहुत अच्छा हो जाता if you would have started by saying the forecasting is.
Okay.
जो the forecast था ना, that would have been your highlight. That should have been the highlight. And after that, you could have told and try to make it as a story. अगर हम आप हमें स्टोरी की तरह बताते तो we would have understood what is prestige doing in this, कहाँ से ट्रेंड आंध्र प्रदेश से कैसे चला, क्या हुआ. बिल्कुल आप एक स्टोरी फॉर्म में कर सकते थे इसको.
Okay.
So okay, I'll give you a very nice what do you say mantra. Whenever you're making projects and whenever you're practicing your projects, okay, you practice your projects in front of the mirror. नहीं करते हैं तो करो. Recommended. Stand in front of the mirror and read your report, read your project, explain your project to your own self. And while you do that, try to imagine कि आपके सामने एक छोटा बच्चा, स्कूल का, कॉलेज का बच्चा है, छोटा, उसको हम एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं. किस तरह से करोगे आप उसको एक्सप्लेन? Exactly, that is the way you have to do it. And make it very short, very, very short, very, very crisp. Everything should be boiling down to 1 minute. You are acing it there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Wonderful attempt. Wonderful attempt.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Yes. Who's the next volunteer?
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, ma'am. My name is Vikas. First time joining your conference, basically.
Okay.
Because
I can't see you.
Ma'am, sorry, the network issue, basically. So sorry for that.
Okay.
So basically, just giving my introduction. I have done my bachelor's from BSc Institute in the bachelor's in capital market. Also, I have the work experience of the 4 years. The 2 years in the alternative investment.
Because you can give your introduction later. Actually, others are also waiting. So we are, if you want to talk about any projects, you can, just start it.
Yes.
Introduction is not required, yeah, because everyone is waiting.
Okay, ma'am. So, can we speak later? Like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. I have some little problem with my, CV and approaching to the job, basically.
No. So this
You can
was.
connect with sir later.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
connect with me because.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You have anything to say about your project? We will want to hear.
The project, I am the quant guy. I have the lots of projects, basically. Long short strategy, basic main strategy, the long short. I have made a lot of strategy. 100 CR fund I was managing in the InCred as a quant trader, basically. And as you know about the project, as I can just give the brief introduction. I think there are some people don't know of the long short strategy.
No, I know. You can go ahead because.
Yeah, sure. Sir, I can totally understand, but there are the people who know.
On the panel, it is only Vidya ma'am and me. There's no one else on the panel.
Okay. Okay. So, what? So should I explain the long short strategy or should I explain my problem?
No, you should explain the project, and that also in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So the long short strategy is kind of a strategy. You merge the fundamental and technical mixtures matrix, and like for the example, you have the 50 stock of a universe. So that fundamental and technical matrix tell you how much stock you are long and how much stock you are short for the period of the time, and it's all about the AI and automation quant, basically.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I did not understand anything, sir.
Because what you did with this long and short?
Sir, in the long and short strategy, I have like generated a return of like 19% CAGR monthly.
I have generated 30%. So
Uh, that's your skills. That's your fundamental.
that is what only we are asking, na? Because that what is your skills? How did you generate 19%? That is what you talk about, na?
Yeah, so 19% is like lots of metrics of fundamentals, and most about the metrics of the technical, because as you know the market is about a volatile last 2 years. So I have indicated the lots of indicators like EMA, moving average, and we also create. Hello.
Yeah, yeah,
We also create the combinations of the fundamental and technical indicators related to the current cash flows of the reports, and that's taking the that's we are making a decision to know how much stock we are long and how much stock we are short, basically. Overall.
Okay, because I will talk to you later on this part. We are doing something else. You are coming in between. I think you are going to the first talk. We are talking about something else today. This topic is not about what you want to say. Okay, we'll reach out later on to you. Okay. Radhika, will you go with your project? TCPL. Okay. Okay, Radhika.
Sir.
Yeah.
So I can I start with the physical report?
Yeah, just start with the report on, let's say you have done a report on TCPL where you are telling about the company and its product. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Basic. Okay, go ahead.
So good evening, everyone. I'll first like to thank the Ma'am and Mr. Sir for giving me this opportunity to present the project. So I have made a project on the which basically gives information about the TCPL company. So TCPL is an FMCG company which manufactures products like tea, coffee, then energy drinks, salt, spices, etc. And also it caters to four segments: India Foods, India Beverages, International, and non-branded. So India Foods contributes approx 30% to its total revenue, and it contains products such as salt, which comes under Tata Salt, spices, which comes under Tata Sampanna, and other cereals and the cereals, and muesli oats, which comes under Tata Soulful. Then the next segment is India Beverages, which also caters around approximately 30% to its total revenue, and it makes products such as tea, coffee, energy drink. Then comes international segment. International segments caters around 25%. And in international market, it mainly caters to UK, US, and Canada. And it mainly sells tea and coffee there. Then comes the non-branded one. In non-branded segment comes around approx around 15%, and it mostly sells the bulk tea and coffee and exports it to the international markets. So coming around the from the FY20 to FY25, which is in the last 5 years, the TCPL's revenue has grew around 10.8% CAGR, and this was mainly led by the India Foods and India Beverages. So on an average or on a CAGR basis, India Foods grew by 30%, and which was led by Tata Salt and Tata Sampanna. Tata Salt grew by 29%. Tata Sampanna grew by 31%. Overall, India beverages grew in the last 5 years, grew at a 10.4% CAGR. And this was mainly led by the ready-to-drink category, which is called as Nourishco. So in this category, they mainly sell the energy drinks such as Gluco-Colas, Tata Coco, and then mineral water brand Himalayan Waters. Then the international market grew at a CAGR of 7%, and this was mainly led by the US market, where the tea grew by 4% and the coffee grew by 13%. And the Canada show the flat volumes. And then comes the non-branded. Non-branded grew with a CAGR of 24%, and it was mainly led by the solubles coffee. The solubles coffee grew by 12%. Overall, TCPL in the future, TCPL's revenue is expected to grow by a CAGR of 17%, and this will mainly be led by the Indian foods and Indian beverages, specifically tea, as the tea prices are expected to soften. As currently in the last FY25, the tea prices were very high due to the
And
inflation.
Radhika, time's up. Time's up.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So you have to time it up for 1 minute. A big round of applause for a very good introduction. I like the way you came up from the company description to the brand description, the 4 verticals, and then each and everything was nicely explained. You can be a little more slow with your speed of speaking. Secondly, rope it up with a story. Can you come up with a story with this? Because आप बस बता रहे हो, this grew up by this grew up by this. That's okay. But if you, again, you have to make it a 1 minute story. Find out, were you still left with some more points, important points, which you couldn't say because 1 minute was already over?
Mostly, ma'am, point related to the inflation, as in the FY25, the tea and coffee prices were very high due to the inflation. Tea prices are expected to soften, but the coffee prices may remain high.
That was it. You've summed it up everything in 1 minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good, good. So in all, you have to slow your pace. You're on the right track of presenting your data. First, the introduction, then the company, the description of the company, why, and you did not specify why you did this project.
Ma'am, so currently, with the help of the sir, I'm currently tracking the FMCG sector.
This
in
is
which,
a very important thing. You should have started with this.
Okay.
You should have started with this. This gives the interviewer a curiosity. क्यों किया ये project? What made you take interest in this? And when you give your findings, he links it with your interest. He says, okay, बच्चे को इसमें interest है. Oh, okay. This is also what she has found out. Wonderful. These are her analysis. So please mention why. Why is very important. And then your takeaways. Wonderful. Sir?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Radhika, one feedback. Again, you go very fast. Told you not to go that fast. And when you tell others also, no, it should be an exciting part. Radhika, ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे तुमको मैंने कुछ बोला है करने को and you're doing it. कि बस सर ने बोला है ना, तो बस बोल देने का. Stats. Stats. And you should be excited. You know how I am excited whenever I ask you, अरे इतना बढ़ गया. Why did it happen? वो नीचे क्यों गया? तो I get excited कि क्यों गिरा है. तो you should be excited while talking about it.
स्टोरी की तरह बताओ. पहले इतना था, अब इतना हो गया है.
इतना हो गया. हाँ, stress on that word.
Exactly.
बोल रहा था कि stress on words that समझना चाहिए, because see, now I was not listening to you, assuming I am a 10-year experienced guy. मैं बोला अरे कोई बच्चा आ रहा है, टाइम पास कर रहा है. Okay, in the interviews, this is our attitude. Now you say something which excites me, or I should look at you, अरे यार, she's saying something. The other people in the panel, okay, if not, okay, I am listening, I am the subject one, what are the others thinking about it? You should not कि सर से बात कर, सर को तो सब पता है, इनको क्या बताने का, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Should be कि so what are the things I can stress on कि सर ये बढ़ गया, आपको पता है क्या, has increased. So when you see that interview, shaking the head कि उनको कुछ समझ रहा है. If it's not shaking या ना ऐसे ही कुछ देख रहा है इधर उधर, it means you are boring. You are getting, मतलब he is getting bored. Because you are taking the same.
The moment you start with a story, मुझे समझ तो आ रहा था, but the moment you threw only facts, यहाँ इतना था, इतना बढ़ गया, इतना grow होगा, इतना forecasted है, I totally get you. You are absorbed in numbers, but the moment you start mixing a little bit of storytelling to it, it becomes a story in itself. So try developing this art where you show a little excitement. In the morning calls, oh my God, I am looking forward to each morning call. आज कुछ नया सुनने के लिए मिलेगा.
Yeah, so this is how it works, even for analysts, it is how it works that you should.
एक बहुत अच्छा point आप लोगों ने ऋषभ सर से सीखा है क्या? He always gives examples, and that also real life examples. So वो आपको बहुत connect होता होगा. In each and every call, he always tries to tell. मेरा friend था, मेरा HR friend था, मेरा relative था, मेरे भाई को कार लेना था. So these are real life examples. When you want someone to understand your point, connect it with your real life. या तो तुम्हारे पास experience होगा या किसी और का experience दो. If you have, your brother has not bought a car, but Rishabh's brother has bought a car, no? You can say, एक हमारे सर ने example दिया था. I would just want to quote that. Big deal. If you don't have your real life examples because you're small or may have not seen life, you can quote him. You can quote somebody else at that point, but try to touch upon the real life aspect. Facts, 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 facts. Sorry, you are knowledgeable. वो पता चल गया, पर हमें कुछ नहीं समझ आया. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Then the whole purpose of the exercise is failed, right? You have to attract the recruiter in such a way that he gets absorbed in you, wants to know more. अच्छा फिर जब आप ये research कर रहे थे, तो where did you get the data from? He should be intrigued to ask you questions. From where did you get this data? सर पूछ रहे थे सुबह, ये कौन से न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा है? मतलब he was thinking कि मैंने कैसे मिस कर दिया, ये कौन सा न्यूज़पेपर में था? Then the child says न्यूज़पेपर में नहीं था, ये heading था, किसी का feed था. Are you getting my point? जो जानकार होता है उसको लगता है कि अरे how did I miss this? So have that element of leave that element of curiosity. All right. Otherwise, a well attempt. And slow down, girl. Slow down to 50% of what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
So Harsh, you go now. Same topic, I think, Harsh, it's the same topic, just the company is different, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. So try speaking in a proper way. तुमको जो है बातचीत करो rather than कि पूछा इंटरव्यू में तो बात करना है, ऐसा नहीं. Just
Okay, so I'll just say like from the newsletters, whatever we are doing, and whatever I can relate it with the project that I have made.
Okay.
Simply like that. Okay.
So sorry, Harsh, I forgot your company, which was that?
It was HUL and Nestle.
Okay. So will
Okay.
I expect, okay, you talk about HUL. Okay.
Okay, that's done. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Divya ma'am, and thank you, sir, for giving me chance to introduce HUL to all of you. So HUL is basically into FMCG. So FMCG is fast moving consumer goods, the goods that we use basically every day in our lives. So it is basically into home care, beauty and well-being, personal care, and foods. When we talk about home care, that includes like fabric washes and detergents and things like that. So it currently contributes 37% of the revenue to the company. And in this, very specifically, company has mentioned that Surf Excel from the overall sales has passed 10,000 crore of mark. So this is one of the brands which has crossed 10,000 crores of revenue. So it is one of the biggest revenue, one of the biggest brand of the company. When we talk about beauty and well-being, HUL is coming into this segment because when we were seeing from newsletter, Nykaa and every beauty care product companies are growing at CAGR of 40%, 50%. So HUL is trying to tap into that market. When we talk about personal care, it includes like soaps and shampoos and conditioners, things like that. So they are moving. So there are three segments. First is known as core, and then something known as future core, and then something known as market makers. So HUL is right now into future core. That means the products that are going to get premiumized going forward. But they are going for one step further and they are introducing things which are not there in the market. For example, liquid dishwashers. For example, liquid dishwashers, or for example, Vim floor cleaner. So these are the things that HUL is introducing to increase the premiumization of their product. When we talk about food segment that they have, in this specifically, I would like to mention that the beverages segment that HUL commands in that coffee is the prices of coffee has increased by 50 to 60%. Their prices have increased by 50 to 60%. Because when we were talking today in the morning call, we saw the news that prices of coffee has been increasing for Indian players as well as for Arabica coffee, which has increased by 50%, and Robusta coffee, which has increased approximately by 100%.
Harsh, time's up.
Yeah.
Time's up. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful, Harsh. Very nice. Applauses. Yes. Good start, but you forgot why. Why HUL? You told the company's brief.
Yes.
Understood the products, everything. But why did you select this particular thing? Left me curious.
Oh, so it was because of the premiumization trend that HUL is tapping upon. So might be that was something that I told, but I didn't emphasize it more properly like that.
So you can say the premiumization trend is so happening these days, or this is what intrigued me to study this.
HUL. Okay.
So the moment you say this, the interviewer understands, oh, it was the curiosity which made you do this.
Yes.
Okay, very important. Why is very important? Please make a note, everybody.
Yes.
Whenever you're doing a project, newspaper article, sir पूछते हैं ये क्यों लिया तुमने? So before he asks, you tell, I wanted to study this trend. That's most important.
Yes.
Then there's something I want to give you praises first. Your pace is very good. Pace is very good. Radhika, pace is very good. Got it? Just try to emulate him. Then your hand gestures and your eye contacts is also very good. Okay, there's some statement which you said something known as this. You were segmenting, you were telling 3 segments, and then you said something known as this.
Okay, sorry, I'm not able to catch that point, what you're trying to.
The HUL has 3 segments.
I'll get on. You said कि is into detergents and और 2-3 बोला and
something like this.
Something.
Something like this.
Okay.
Your home
Okay.
care is into detergent and liquids and something.
Okay.
And something like that.
Etc.
Okay, understood. So, etc. and that word that you said has not to be told. Yeah.
Don't.
Etc. भी नहीं बोलना होता है.
Yes.
Etc. भी नहीं
Etc. भी
बोलना
क्यों बोलना है?
चलेगा.
If you can get back to the same statement, you were trying to tell me the 3 segments and you were naming the 3 segments.
Okay, so there are 4 segments actually.
4 segments.
Yeah. So just a second, I'll say it more properly actually. Just
Do it, try.
Yeah. So there are 4 segments in HUL. First is home care segment. Then second is beauty and well-being segment. Then personal care segment, and then there is food segment.
Okay. After that, you told me something else was bifurcated into 3 categories.
Okay. So all the products that HUL has been bifurcated into. So for example, let's take home care. So in home care, there will be products which is like, for example, there are detergent, right? So the core products will be like something which we are using from so many years, and they have okay.
Products, something like.
Okay, so
that means you are not sure. Something like this.
Okay.
Just like that. Are you understanding?
Okay. Yes, I get it. So we have to say that home care in
Yes.
that when
Be
we
sure
are
of what
using
you're saying.
yeah. Okay.
Be sure of what you're saying, etc. And the others. Avoid saying this.
Okay.
Okay. Rest all, everything was fine from my end. Sir?
Harsh, one more thing. You started with the segments beauty care, home care, beauty care, personal care, foods. Foods तुमने बोला नहीं. You missed out on foods.
Yes, sir.
फिर beauty हाँ फिर उसके बाद others भी एक आता है, that is non-branded, उसमें आता है, वो भी आता है. अच्छा, then what you did, तुमने beauty personal care की बात की, home care की बात की, home care में detergent ये सब आता है. Beauty में तुम बोले beauty में नायका ये सब करा. You didn't say what comes in beauty. You shift on to personal care again.
Okay.
And पर्सनल केयर के बाद फूड तो तुम बोले ही नहीं थे. उसके बाद सडनली यू वेंट ऑन टू द 3 पार्ट्स जहाँ पे दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मार्केट मूवर्स एंड वो सब बीच में कहाँ पे आया?
Okay.
That shouldn't come ना while talking about a company. See, वो segments तो कंपनी ने बनाया. I am saying that out of the 5 products I have, 2 are market makers, 2 are my great products. तो कंपनी बोल रहा है, you are just presenting a company.
Right. Okay.
You are just presenting कि मैम को बता रहे कि मैम HUL क्या करता है. Now why are you telling कि उसका strategy क्या है? Have I asked you? I just asked you, tell me about HUL. तुमने क्या पढ़ा?
Okay.
If you can, that can become at a later point, when you become specific about, topics. These are the growth is driven by the market movers.
Okay.
Like वो finance topic आ गया. Basic one, understanding.
Yes.
And वो मिल गया कि when you talk about products, so segments, products, segments, products.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, sir, this is the thing. So, like, when we are making reports, most probably like we don't prepare in the sense कि okay 1 minute में हमें सब बता देना है, तो पूरा हिल जाता है. It's like कि how to structure it in such a way कि 1 मिनट में भी कोई बोल दे हमें अगर बोलने के लिए, so हमें वो properly project बोलने को आना चाहिए.
आपको बहुत प्रैक्टिस करनी होगी. इतनी प्रैक्टिस करनी होगी कि आपको खुद ही पता चल जाए इम्पोर्टेंट मुझे क्या बोलना है और क्या मुझे छोड़ देना है. This will only come with practice. If you are just preparing the report and just presenting it, ये होगा फिर.
Understood. Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Sean, you want to talk on anything?
Yes. So, ma'am, actually, I had also prepared on the same company.
Okay.
So, can I repeat the same thing again?
Yeah, sure. You are 2 different people. Perspectives are different.
Yes. So, thank you.
Findings would be different. Continue, please. I'm making my points.
Hello everyone, thank you for the opportunity. So I'll be basically, I made a quarterly result update for the same company, HUL. So the reason for making the update was this was my first update report, and I started with FMCG sector. And in that, I chose HUL because it's the market leader and it's got a wide range of products which I've personally used. And I thought if I'm tracking the FMCG sector and if I start with the leader, I'll be able to go on and track other companies. So regarding HUL, the Q4 25 update result, the revenues came at around 15,600 crores. The gross margin stayed around 51%, 90 basis points lower, and PAT margins were around the same range of around 19%. So regarding the company as a whole, we can bifurcate the company into 4 segments. First is home care, then there is beauty and well-being, then there is personal care, and then foods, and then there is others, which is a small portion. Also one more thing that HUL does is if you take any product, for example, if you go to personal care and if you go to soaps, you have in soaps product like which under some mass segment which everyone uses. And then they also maybe a Dove which goes into future core, which is like placed slightly premium. And then there's another segment which they call market makers, which is basically new products or new acquisitions, something like minimalist or liquid IV, which are very infant right now, but they believe they'll go on to become leaders of the future. Regarding the margins of each segment, home care stood around 19% EBIT margins, and the revenue comes around 37% of the total revenue. Beauty and well-being has the highest margins of around 32%, and it contributes to around 18% of the revenue. Food contributes around 20%, but has margins of around 18%, and same goes for personal care. Regarding the macro conditions, so the tea prices and palm oil prices had gone up considerably, which squeezed margin pressures. But at the same time, the company management has given guidance that the next half of the year, they expect things to improve, especially rural demand, because last 2 years, FMCG had muted demand in urban markets, but now going forward, rural demand will pick up, and primarily because of good rainfall and good harvest. So this was the update of HUL.
All right, Sean, starting is good. Your vocab is good. Your pace and tone is very good, right? But I think towards the end, आपने खिचड़ी बना दी.
Achha.
You mixed what you were telling with the other things. I felt towards the end, you had to stick on to what you were saying. Suddenly you came up with
I
the
thought
last part.
I'd squeeze everything in 1 minute. So
Yes, that is where you have to sequentialize your content. Each sequence should have not more than 2 points, 2 important points. Sequence kar lo apne content ko. Sequence, right? In the first segment, I'll talk about the company. In the second segment, I'll talk about the sections in the company or the segments in the company. The third, I will talk about what is increasing, how is it affecting the fourth segment, and I'll conclude. So segment sequentialize अपने दिमाग में करो. आपको learn करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. आपको ही पता है इसके बाद मेरा क्या sequence है, मेरा क्या sequence है. Rather than wanting to present everything at the same in the same sentence. Not recommended. Okay. All right. There were some points where you said this segment, they call it as something like this,
okay.
right? You can say this, the name of the segment is named. They call it, no. Are you understanding?
Okay.
The segment has a name. It is not they call it, the segment has a name. So they call it ABC segment, right? And it has something like this. Again, wrong. It includes, isko replace kar do aap log. Whenever you are saying something like this, usko replace kar do includes. This includes these things. You're done there, clarifying yourself. All right. You also said home care stood around. Home care stood around. It's an incomplete sentence. I am not inferring anything from this data. Then you said tea prices gone up, were up, gone up. These are not your vocabulary words at all. So we'll replace them with your financial vocabulary words. So gone up, matlab, did you mean it took a leap, it increased, it skyrocketed? What was your meaning?
The inflation caused tea prices to rise by 50%.
तो यही बोलना था ना?
हाँ.
तो आप सोचते कुछ और हो, बोलते कुछ और हो. Sabi, all of you, there's so much here, but when you want to say, you're at a loss of words. Is it? ऐसा होता है?
हाँ, वो 1 मिनट में स्क्वीज कर रहा था तो फिर.
तो कोई बात नहीं. The moment you practice again and again, आपको खुद ही पता चल जाएगा कि there is so much of unnecessary data which I can avoid, and the things which I have to sieve, these are only important things. So morning call थोड़ा और rigorous कीजिए, थोड़ा और rigorous कीजिए, अपने आप 2-3 बार पढ़ के, then you come in the morning call. Then it will be a refined material already. Sir will have to make only a little 1 or 2 brief changes. कई बार तो मैं देखती हूँ पूरा का पूरा रिपोर्ट फिर से सर पूरा का पूरा रीडू कर रहे हैं. So come with a little bit of preparation. तीसरी बार आप पढ़ोगे, आपको खुद ही पता चल जाएगा, oh, this point is not relevant. Let me just keep these important datas. This trend is very important. Let me put this way. Okay. Again, your why should have a little more concrete because it is a premium brand. Nahi, I wanted to study this particular trend in this particular company. Maybe, correct? Just boil down to the details.
Okay.
So,
John, when you started your analysis ki sir, मैं quarterly analysis किया, and quarterly you said revenue became 15,200 crores. First of all, I have told you not to use crores. You have to speak in millions and billions. First thing. And second, see, in the morning calls, you are not you don't come regularly, but you know what we talk about is you don't talk about revenue growth. See, 15,000 crore हो गया, 15 billion हो गया, 150 billion. क्या हुआ? Last quarter 160 billion था. Increase हुआ, decrease हुआ, that you didn't say. फिर वही होता है ना, when you talk about this projects या एक मिनट में जब बोलना होता है revenue increase क्यों हुआ, वही reason बताया तुमको. You said that reason at the end कि revenue increase क्यों हुआ था. Then you talked about margins. Margins have been at 57%. Abhi, what is that? Increase, decrease?
Yeah.
And when margin has increased or decreased, you have that data point. Na, ki it was increased because of the tea prices, decreased because of the increase in tea or coffee prices. Those all things can be told in one line. But एक चीज उन्होंने पहले बोली, दूसरी चीज एज मैम ने बराबर नोटिस किया कि तुमने लास्ट में खिचड़ी कर दिया. वो जरूरत ही नहीं थी उसकी लास्ट में बोलने की, बिकॉज फर्स्ट में तुमने सब डेटा दे दिया है. तो व्हाई इज दैट डेटा इंक्रीजिंग या डिक्रीज हो रहा है, तो उधर ही बोल दो ना. व्हाई यू वांट टू गो एट द एंड? इफ योर let's say your approach was different, Harsh's approach was different. Harsh ने उसके normal उसने data points की बात नहीं की. If you're talking about data points, then tell why it is increasing, why it is decreasing. फिर Pat, again you are saying P&L, your sales, gross margins, and then again Pat, EBITDA किधर गया? And then EBIT you are talking about वो HUL के segmental EBIT you are talking about बीच में. So either you select ना कि तुमको पूरे कंपनी के बारे में बोलना है या segmental के बारे में बोलना है. If I would at your place, I would have said, okay, company का growth क्यों हुआ, etc., etc., ये सब reason है, and I would have only focused on the beauty and personal care segment because we are talking every day कि beauty and personal segment में grow हो रहा है. बाकी segment का क्या करना है तुमको? हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है उसका डेटा क्यों देना तुमको? If you are speaking from that point of view, अपडेट ही दे रहे हो मुझे तो सर this segment which contributes around 30-40%, उसका EBIT margin is around 30%, which has increased by 100 basis point, 200 basis point, and because of this all reasons. हो गया बस. बाकी है सर 2-3 चल रहा है उसके. होम केयर इज बीइंग स्टेबल, फूड्स में ग्रोथ हो रहा है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ क्रूड ऑयल चेंजेस होम केयर सेगमेंट माइट फेस अगेन अ प्रॉब्लम. हो गया बस, यही तो बोलना था.
don't try to rope in a lot of things just to show that I have done it. But if you brief everything, maybe impact ज़्यादा होगा.
There's a two different thing. Harsh ने जब बोला he was presenting the company, तो उसने चारों segments बोले. When you are not presenting the company, when you are giving an update, तो तभी चारों segment बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है ना.
हाँ.
Got it. There's no point of giving for other full, because just you are giving an update. You said कि sir I'm giving an update on HUL. तो आई एम अज्यूम कि HUL का मुझे पता होगा, या फिर नहीं पता होगा तो भी ठीक है, मुझे पता ही नहीं था, तुम क्यों बोल रहे हो? मैं बोला सर तुमने फूड के बारे में नहीं बोला, तुमने सिर्फ ब्यूटी केयर के बारे में बोला, ऐसा क्यों? तो मेक दैट कंटेनर, सर आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ब्यूटी केयर बिकॉज दैट इज द सेगमेंट व्हिच इज ग्रोइंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन द मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक ट्रेंड्स। तो तुम्हारा मैक्रो इकोनॉमी भी आया या फाइनेंसेस भी आए एंड तुम्हारा वोकेबलरीज भी आ गया। दैट मैम हैज टोल्ड, तूने वोकेबलरी जो गलत यूज की है कैन बी रिफ्रेम नो।
थोड़ा सा वोकैबुलरी पे ध्यान दीजिए बिकॉज आपके ट्रेंड्स चेंज हो रहे हैं, योर ट्रेंड्स आर हैपनिंग द मोमेंट यू से दिस हैज बीन डन, मतलब किसी ने किया है, और ये ट्रेंड्स कोई करता नहीं है, ये फ्लक्चुएट होते हैं अपने आप। सो इंक्रीज डिक्रीज, सो आई गिव अ लिस्ट ऑफ ऑल द वोकैबुलरी वर्ड्स जो आपने यूज करने चाहिए। एंड प्लीज आई थिंक यू ऑल शुड अटेंड द मॉर्निंग कॉल्स, वंडरफुल पीसेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन। आपको एक्स्ट्रा कुछ नहीं करना है, यू डोंट हैव टू डू एक्स्ट्रा रीडिंग। 4-5 people are presenting 4-5 important happenings around the world, so I think it's a good piece of information. And in the interviews also, they are checking your current knowledge, your current updates. They want you to be very very relevant to the industry. सुबह क्या हुआ है वो आपको पता होना चाहिए. So that is why there are old people who say before an interview read today's newspaper, while going for the interview read today's newspaper. But if you read all the newspapers, you don't have to read the today's newspaper. You already know आज के newspaper में कौन सा news आने वाला है. Again, a wonderful session, sir.
Thank you everyone. So we'll meet again tomorrow morning. So tomorrow I think Radhika is presenting the conference call's highlight. So let's see how Radhika presents. Radhika, hope you got something to talk about tomorrow.
So can I suggest something?
Yeah.
The outsiders, not from our academy, can tell their learnings in 1 minute about these 5-day workshops. So present something about what your takeaways are from these 5 days in 1 minute. And RK advisory students can present what they did in their internships. And as Radhika is presenting something, we can add on and take this opportunity to grab the stage for 1 minute.
Aviral, you want to start? Aviral? Kunal?
No, sir. Actually, I'm in office right now. I'm just attending this conference.
Fine. Okay. Anyone? Raise their hands. Any takeaways?
Expecting a lot of participants tomorrow for 1 minute takeaways.
Definitely, ma'am. I just prepare.
Good. Wonderful. All right, then let's call it a day, sir.
Yeah. So guys, tomorrow will be CV building, probably one of the important part of this workshop. That इतना सब करके CV खराब हो तो फिर वो select ही नहीं होगा. So how to make your CV? What is the format? I have given you a format, but that's different. Ma'am will also suggest something that can be changed on that. I have only given about my advisory, but for others as well, what are the things for a fresher and an experience, how to frame your CV and how to write it. So we'll have 2-3 CVs. Ma'am, I will give you 2-3 CVs,
Sure,
and just give a brief that how the CV is made, and then we can discuss about it.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question. Actually, I'm doing this internship with Bishop sir, and also doing my full-time job also. So
Okay.
in one of my interview, I was grilled on this, that how are you managing both together. So I want to know what can be the best answer, how can I answer this?
Hang on the vocabulary word time management. Revolve the whole answer around time management. Sir, it is only because of the time management which I am doing. You can tell him your schedule. You can tell him what you do in your fillers. And a person who is doing something extra is always valued. So, credit points आपको वैसे ही मिल गए हैं कि you are doing both the things together. आपको सिर्फ explain करना है how nicely you are paying attention to this also, and you are paying attention to this also, and you are reaping the results. Don't forget, when I'm doing this, I'm achieving this. When I'm doing these classes, I'm achieving this. And this motivates me to put in my extra time and learn more. That's about it. Just rotate around that time management thing and harp on that. That's it.
Nitik,
Thank you
I
so
have
much.
told you not to write internship, write it as a freelancing work.
Yes.
बोलो ना internship मत लिखना. Internship means you are working full time, ऐसा होता है. So your time management that will be on the freelancing part. If you say internship, obviously I will also grill you. दो चीजें it is not possible to do. So freelancing में क्या?
मैंने सर ये बोला था कि मैं क्लासेस वीकेंड्स पे होती है, so that's how I'm managing it.
Don't say as classes. Just say that you are doing a freelancing work, and I'm learning. I'm learning on weekends and applying those things on weekdays. So it's always freelancing, not an internship, because internship becomes a job. And हाँ वो कैसे कर रहे हैं freelancing? Obviously with the time management.
So should we mention it as a freelancing in CV also?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, you can,
internship?
you can.
Yes.
Because internship will be problem. Freelancing को कोई problem नहीं होता है. Freelance work है ना. I am doing it for my own
Growth.
upbringing.
Yes.
खुद
Yes.
के लिए कर रहा
I
हूँ,
am
upgrading my
doing it for
skills.
upscaling myself.
But internship, won't internship would be more valuable like
See,
freelancing?
the question is because we are analysts ना, तो analyst में internship ही 15 घंटे का होता है. I used to work 15 hours free of cost. उसके बाद तुम जॉब नहीं कर सकते. तुम कितना भी टाइम मैनेज कर लो.
So that is why he's asking you this question. कैसे manage कर रहे हो दोनों?
That way. Internship बोलोगे तो then a person like me it is not possible. नहीं तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो. ये होगा. फ्रीलांसिंग और ठीक है तुम्हारे हिसाब से तुम काम कर रहे हो. एक प्रोजेक्ट आया है आरके एडवाइजर से, वी आर डूइंग अ प्रोजेक्ट, वो ही बता रहे कैसे करना है.
हाँ.
ऐसा बोल दो ना, वीकेंड्स को बताते हैं कैसे करना है हम. सो दैट इज ओनली वी आर डूइंग ना. एक्चुअली वी आर डूइंग द सेम थिंग. कि मैंने वो मेंटरशिप चालू इसके लिए किया था कि आई एम टेलिंग यू समथिंग ऑन वीकेंड्स, यू वर्क फॉर मी ऑन अ वीकडे एंड यू शो देम एज एन एक्सपीरियंस रादर देन शोइंग एज एन कोर्स तो है ही नहीं वो. कि जो कर रहा हूँ उसका तो मैं आई एम नॉट गिविंग यू एनी स्पेसिफिक थिंग कि है ना ये मॉडल है, एक ही है, ये रिपोर्ट्स है, यू हैव टू मेक 4-5 रिपोर्ट्स. सो दैट गोज विद योर सीवी. तो सीवी पे ऐसा लिखना फ्रीलांसिंग कर रहा है, इंटर्नशिप मत बोलो.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am, just one more thing I have to ask. So, how do I frame my answer of my work ex if my work experience is not related to the profile?
Yesterday only we discussed. If it is not related,
Ma'am,
delete it from your CV.
no. So I just want I just summarize this in a small manner. Like I can explain them in a really short way and try to not just skipping, try to summarize it and how to मैं आगे कैसे बढ़ूं basically. So just want to go further on my project.
See, if you go with a confused mind, जैसे बहुत लोगों को क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, आपने तो बीएससी करी है, फिर एमबीए फाइनेंस क्यों कर रहे हो?
Yes.
So they make a perception that you were not clear. तुम्हें क्या करना था? Are you still not clear? Is there doubt? So don't give them places where they can doubt you. जैसे कल सर ने बताया था, if this particular job experience is not relevant to the job you are applying right now, remove it. Put some other skill or put some other certification which you did during that period of time, because it will take a lot of time to explain or to convince that person or to put it up in a nicer way the way you are saying it. Why you want to kill your interview time? Harp on the skills, harp on the certifications which are valid to that JD, justify that and back the job.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Yes, don't put yourself in a hot soup unnecessarily. You're giving them a chance. सर जैसे बोलते हैं आप, तुम मुझे उकसा रहे हो.
Guys, I will give you a basic example on this. ये काफी बार क्वेश्चन आता है, people who are trying to shift to other field. So एक बात बोलता है, let's say basic example लेते हैं, because I am a sports person, so I will give you an example in that sports way. कि I am a cricketer, okay, I used to like playing cricket, but somehow because I didn't get any role in cricket, I started playing football. Okay, मुझे क्रिकेट टीम, ऐसा हुआ था मेरे एक्चुअली लाइफ में हुआ था कि मुझे ना क्रिकेट टीम में सिलेक्ट नहीं किया था, तो मैं जाके फुटबॉल खेल रहा था ना. व्हाट वाज दैट रीजन कि मैं फुटबॉल खेल रहा हूँ, ओके बाय चॉइस तो है नहीं, अभी कुछ नहीं करना है, अभी कॉलेज में था, कुछ तो करना है, तो मैं फुटबॉल खेल रहा था ना. अभी ना क्या हुआ, फिर 1 साल हो गया, वापस कॉलेज की टीम चेंज हो गई, बिकॉज जूनियर की टीम सीनियर जाती है, तो जूनियर की टीम वापस खाली हो गई, तो ना पोजीशन था. तो मुझे पूछा तूने 1 साल किया क्या? क्रिकेट खेला? हाँ सर, वीकेंड में खेलने का. पूरे दिन क्या किया? फुटबॉल खेलने का. डू यू थिंक वो मुझे टीम में लेगा? तुम बताओ कि मैं बोल रहा हूँ पूरे साल क्या किया, तो मैं फुटबॉल खेल रहा था और जाना किधर है, क्रिकेट में। एक साल मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला, आई यूज टू प्ले क्रिकेट, हाँ वीकेंड्स को मैं खेलने का, बट पूरा टाइम मैंने 12 घंटा क्रिकेट या फुटबॉल ही खेला। तो अगर ऐसा बोलूँ तो ना मुझे उधर ही रिजेक्ट कर देगा वो। तो मैं बोलूँ सर मुझे क्रिकेट, तो मैंने भी यही बोला था, इनफैक्ट मैंने बोला था लाइव एग्जाम्पल कि मैंने ना बोला उसको कि सर मैं फुटबॉल खेल रहा था, बट वहां पे ना मैंने मेरे स्प्रिंटिंग स्किल्स डेवलप किए, क्योंकि क्रिकेट में स्प्रिंटिंग लगता है। आई डेवलप माई थाइज, आई डेवलप माई लेग्स टू टू वो फुटवर्क जो होता है, उससे मेरा फुटवर्क थोड़ा इंप्रूव हुआ। ऐसा बोला मैंने कि इसके लिए मैं फुटबॉल खेल रहा था। दिस वॉज एक्चुअली आई डिड। मैं हो रहा था कि मुझे टीम में जगह नहीं था, दे आर लाइक ऋषभ देयर इज नो प्लेस, गो एंड प्ले सम अदर स्पोर्ट। तो अगर मैं उधर जाके बोलता कि ना मैं कुछ अलग खेल रहा था, जो भी खेल रहा था, कि सर मैं पूरा टाइम फुटबॉल खेल रहा था, अभी मुझे क्रिकेट में आना है क्योंकि मुझे ना फुटबॉल अच्छे से आ नहीं रहा है खेलने को, तो अभी क्या होगा इसमें? पहले वो तो पहले ही रिजेक्ट कर देगा मुझे, ही विल नॉट इवन सी कि मुझे क्या आ रहा है। दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स। तो व्हेन यू गिव एनी एग्जांपल कि शिफ्ट हो रहा है, व्हेन यू आर शिफ्टिंग योर स्किल, तो प्रोबेबली से कि वहां पे कौन से स्किल्स है जो तुमका आगे जाके काम आने वाले। एंड ऑब्वियसली हाँ, मुझे क्रिकेट के बारे में सब पता था, तो मैं रिलेट कर पाया। तुमको अगर कुछ चीजें पता ही नहीं कि कहाँ पे जाना है, तो डोंट से कि सर मैंने इक्विटी रिसर्च किया, मैंने ऐसा ऐसा देख देख के किया, तो फिर भूल जाओ कि सर मैं टीवी पे देख रहा था, मुझे क्रिकेट ले लो, टीम में ले लो, मैं टीवी पे रोज क्रिकेट देखता हूँ। तो वैसा नहीं होने वाला है। ओके, मैं हर एक मैच देखता हूँ, हर एक आईपीएल मैच देखता हूँ, आई नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट क्रिकेट, मुझे टीम में ले लो, इट विल नॉट हेल्प। सो दिस इज अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आ गए ना, आई कम अक्रॉस कि शिफ्ट होना है, मुझे ऐसा होना है। तो टेक दैट कि कौन सा भी चीज, जो भी चीज है विच इज रेलेवेंट तुम्हारे इसमें लगा, भले वो रेलेवेंट हो ना हो। अभी स्प्रिंटिंग का क्रिकेट में ऐसा यूज नहीं होता है, बट वो सिर्फ फील्डिंग में यूज होता है, ना बैटिंग में ना बॉलिंग में। बॉलिंग में होता है, एंड आई वाज अ बैट्समैन, तो बैटिंग में वैसे भी स्प्रिंटिंग का यूज नहीं होता है। फिर भी ना मैंने कुछ तो बोला उसको कि सर ये मेरे क्रिकेट में किधर ना किधर तो काम में आएगी, मेरे फुटबॉल स्किल्स। तो तुम मैं जाके बोलूँ हाँ मैं अच्छे से गोल किक मारता हूँ, आई कैन हिट अ गोल फ्रॉम कॉर्नर एंड ऐसा, तो वैसा सब क्रिकेट में बोल के क्या फायदा कि मुझे कॉर्नर से गोल मारने आता है, मुझे गोल किक लेने आती है, मुझे डॉज करने आता है। तुम डॉज बोलोगे तो क्रिकेट में डॉज कर रहे हो तुम नहीं। तो दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स। एंड ये एक्चुअली मेरे साथ हुआ था एक एक टाइम में, 12th में था मैं, तभी ऐसे ही हुआ था मेरे साथ। दिस कैन बी यूज इन योर पर्सनल लाइफ या तुम्हारे कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में। अविरल गॉट इट, हाउ टू आंसर दिस? अगर
Got it, sir. Got it.
कुछ भी रेलेवेंट नहीं है तो बोलना भी मत।
Sir, I just make it
You'll
relevant.
dig your own grave.
हाँ कुछ है, कुछ बोलना भी मत कि मुझे मैं ये कर रहा था, तो फिर तुम गए, वो रिजेक्ट ही हो जाएगा, उधर ही रिजेक्ट हो जाओगे।
Got it, sir. Got it. And thanks for your time, sir.
वेलकम।
सेशन से पहले के लिए।
थैंक यू एवरीवन, सी यू टुमारो मॉर्निंग।
Thank you, everyone.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू मैम, थैंk you for the session.
Pleasure,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you so
Good
much.
night. Good night, everyone.
Good night
Good night.
everyone.
Good night, sir. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.